Hello to whoever is watching. I've decided to use this as a space for sharing my truth, my joy, my reflections, my thoughts, and whatever is really just lingering on my mind that I feel like I want to share with others. With that being said, today's video is going to be both a reflection and an intention setting video. I'll be reflecting on my 2022 goals and setting new intentions and goals for the new year, which I'm very excited for. The past few years now, since I started journaling intentionally, I have set goals for myself for the new year. And yeah, I think setting goals can be pretty tricky because at the beginning of the year you might feel very excited and optimistic about the year and everything, but you never know what is actually going to unfold throughout the whole year, so it's tricky to set such long-term goals, which is why I think it's great to kind of practice setting goals by setting daily goals or weekly goals or monthly goals, and having those kind of like micro goals be a contribution to the bigger, larger goals that you have for the year itself. So the first tip I have to share is to be realistic. To be realistic, you need to imagine yourself actually doing it and reflect on your habits and the way that you operate to make sure that this goal is something that you actually can and want to commit to. And that way you don't end up disappointing yourself at the end of the year with goals that you never met because they weren't truly realistic or practical for you. In being realistic, it's important to ask yourself why this is important to you and how will it contribute to your overall success, happiness, and growth throughout the new year or throughout the time span of your goals. One of my goals for 2022 was to vlog my experience in London since I went to go study abroad there, and I knew that this was realistic for me because Rayma had bought me a camera for Christmas, so I had what I needed. I had a camera and I had like really brief experience making videos for YouTube, and I also had 2 scholarships that were dependent on this goal that would keep me accountable, because in order for me to be in London I needed these scholarships, and in order for me to have these scholarships I needed to make the videos. So those were some ways that I could measure how realistic it would be for me to actually obtain those goals. And my intentions for 2023 is to incorporate new vegan protein sources. I feel like since the start of my vegan journey, which was about 5 years ago, tofu has kind of always been my default. It was the most accessible, it was the most affordable, it was something I already knew I liked, and like something that I kind of grew up eating anyways. I've been wanting to diversify my protein sources. I'm always open to learning new recipes and new things about ways that I can nourish myself properly. So this is something realistic for me because I've kind of already taken the time to learn about new protein sources and to slowly incorporate new protein sources. So I'm very excited for this new year and the opportunity to immerse myself deeper into this goal. Moving on to tip number 2, which is to have a plan of action. One thing to write down your goals, your tasks, your ideas, manifestations, whatever you may call it. Another thing to actually put those intentions, goals, manifestations into action. The saying actions speak louder than words, a very true testament to this. And it can be a measure of how important your goals are to you and hold you accountable into actually doing something about it. To reflect, one of my 2022 goals was to have a new source of income. I couldn't do this without applying for a new job, without freeing up time in my schedule to be able to prioritize all of the things that a new job would entail. I'm proud to say that I now have 2 new sources of income from 2022. And one of my 2023 goals is to practice drawing, and this has been something that I've been working on making more time for a while now, so I'm excited to be more consistent with it. Here I have this monthly calendar on the wall, and I plan to draw on the top part of it every month because it's just a blank page. But for my first drawing, I did a drawing of this corner of my desk just for fun. I already started. As soon as I had this kind of in my mind, I wanted to start doing it just to see how it would be and kind of test it out. And it's exciting being able to see my drawings, and also inspiring to be able to think about different drawings that I can do throughout the month. And moving on to tip number 3, which is to be consistent and consider your goals daily. I think something that's more commonly known of is that it takes 21 days to establish a new habit, but there's actually a new study that says it can take anywhere between 2 to 8 months to form a new habit. So whether it's learning a new language, changing your diet, being more active, or whatever your goals may be, it's important to think about them daily and recognize that you need to work towards them consistently, because unfortunately our goals are not just something that's going to happen overnight. overnight if we write them down, but instead it happens over time, and every day you need to make that conscious choice to show up for yourself and your goals and to work towards them. So I am looking back on my journal, and my 2022 intention was to be active and take care of my body. I have been wanting to go to the gym for a while now. My partner goes to the gym regularly. He inspires me to do that, and we always talked about like going to the gym together, but it just never really actually happened. One day I literally just decided, okay, let's go. It was like for an hour. It was a really short gym sesh, but it was like I just had to go because I knew it was something lingering on my mind, and since then I've been able to be consistent with it. Every day that I did actually go to the gym and put in an effort to move my body, I knew that I was contributing to my overall goals and my growth. It's a reflection, and also related to my intentions for 2023, which to continue this consistency of being active and going to the gym or moving my body in more ways. This is an ongoing goal for the new year, but now I have more specific goals within that, which is be able to do at least 3 pull-ups, go to the gym 3 to 4 times minimum per week, and then also be able to squat a plate because I feel like that's such an achievement. Yeah, since I've been going to the gym for a few months now, I know that this is something I can actually work towards and will help me to improve my strength and feel more confident overall. My 4th tip would be to ease the pressure, and there are a few tricks that I use to do this. This one is related to the language that I use when I'm writing my goals. So I believe that the language we use has the power to shift our perspectives. Simple way to practice this would be saying, instead of I have to do something, you could say I get to do something. I have to clean my room, you could say I get to clean my room. And it kind of changes it from less of a like strenuous or like maybe annoying task to something that you have the privilege of being able to do because you have a room. And it kind of just rewires your thinking a little bit to literally just ease the pressure and take away a little bit of that stress or anxiety around whatever task you have to do. In relation to setting goals, instead of saying something like learn a new language, say practice Italian consistently, or whatever language you might be trying to learn. Because honestly, it's not likely that you'll learn an entire language in the span of 1 year, but you can be consistent with practicing daily, and instead that can help to set you up for success. Another example would be saying get a 4.0 for grades, and instead of saying this, you can say turn in work on time, or spend X amount of hours doing work, or prioritize school on the weekends more than TV, or whatever it may be. Just things that will lead you to get a 4.0 instead of actually just expecting yourself to get straight A's. Some tips for easing the pressure and kind of shifting the language when you're writing goals that I like to use is using the words practice, progress, prioritize, be consistent, and improve instead of do this, do that, get this, or get that. And shifting to this language kind of helps you to be more flexible, and it gives you room to adjust things because you never know what's going to happen throughout the year. One of my goals for 2022 says I will journal regularly. In the past, I might have said journal daily, but that wouldn't have been truly realistic because it's something that I could or would want to do every single day. Instead, I just tell myself to be consistent or do things regularly, because that means that instead of journaling every day just to do it every day, I'll actually be doing it with intention and because it feels right and productive for me. The goal that I have for 2023 is to practice Italian daily, so notice I didn't say learn a new language. Instead, I want to encourage myself to practice daily. So this can literally be anything from saying buongiorno in the morning to being able to say the ingredients of my dinner. Right now, I can simply say pasta con verdure, and I also use Duolingo as my resource for learning Italian, and my partner speaks Italian, so I ask him questions consistently. And I also plan to write little phrases around my space to serve as reminders of what I'm learning and to just help make it more relevant and help me to apply it to my daily life. So an example of that is this drawing that I drew here. It's of the desk space, so I titled it La Scrivania, which is the desk. And for my next drawing, I actually want to do a fruit bowl or something, or a vegetable basket, and then I would label each vegetable. So if I draw a carrot, I would label it with carota, so that it's constantly there to be reminding me. That also goes into my my goal of drawing. So the goals can be connected, and that's really helpful. So side note on the Italian, if you are an Italian speaker, have any tips or knowledge for whatever I may say in Italian, please feel free to share your knowledge. I'm very open to receiving. And moving on to my fifth and final tip, which would be to focus on the journey, not the destination. And this is such like a cliche quote that we hear growing up, like it's about the journey, not the destination, but that has been such a constant truth for me. I think these things are cliches for a reason because it rings true in so many different occasions for so many people. In that tip of focusing on the journey, not the destination, I think it's really easy to think that we'll be happier, we'll be more successful, we'll be more beautiful, we'll just be better in general once we reach our goals. While that may be true to some extent, it's also important to acknowledge where we are now, progress that we've made while working towards those goals. And I think it's so easy to forget this because you just want to get there, you just want to know Italian, you just want to be better at drawing or whatever it is. Just remember that it should be fun and enjoyable to work on and improve yourself each year, to learn new things, to immerse yourself into your growth and your success. There can also be this pressure to do certain things a certain way because of what you might see other people doing, but remember to have fun, stay focused on your journey, enjoy yourself along the way. Trust that you will get there if you do stay consistent, if you do continue to put in action towards what you write down. All of the hard work will be worth it because one day you'll be like, whoa, I can say the ingredients of my dinner in Italian, or look at all of these drawings. I feel like I've come to become a very goal-oriented person. It motivates me throughout the day. It kind of gives me like a little sense of purpose throughout my day. It's helpful to know that I have something to work towards and I'm not just existing randomly, but I can create experiences for myself that I know are valuable and intentional for me. And also, I guess kind of like a side tip, it's never too late to set goals. You can set a goal every single day. You don't have to wait for a new year, a new week, a new month, or whatever. Sometimes it's more motivating to be able to do it at those specific points. But you can start now. You can start whenever. You can start in the middle of the day. You don't have to follow the rules of what society is doing or what other people are doing. You get to make your own rules and your own goals, and you should do it your own way. And yeah, I guess that's all I have to share. I hope that you'll take what's helpful and what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. And I hope this video maybe inspires you to set new goals and it helps you to find ways that you could be successful towards your goals, so that at the end of the year you can reflect and feel proud of yourself and accomplished and recognize all of the hard work that you've put in to work towards where you are now. So thank you for your time, and I'll see you in another video. Bye!